session. So we'll read from the Bhagavad Gita's first chapter, verse number 3, the chapter entitled Observing the Armies on the Battlefield of Kurukshetra. And this is the third verse, the third shloka. So I'll take help from each one of you. So some of the shlokas I'll be reading myself. When it comes to reading out the equivalents, the synonyms, I will ask one of you to help me out. And also in translation, I will ask one of you to help me out. So now we are reading from the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, verse number 3. So whenever we have to read Bhagavad Gita we have to read in a manner wherein we first read the words. Like, for example, the first line is Pashyetam Pandu Putranam. So how will we read this? First, we have to practice word by word. Pashyetam Pandu Putranam. So then once you have you become familiar with these Sanskrit words, Pashaitam, Pandu, Putranam. Then you try to say this word. You say this in one line, like in one go. Pashaitam, Pandu, Putranam. Then we go to the next line. Acharya, Mahitim, Chamum. Acharya, Mahitim, Chamum. Then Vyudham Drupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata So now we have chanted we can chant line by line. Acharya Mahitim Chamum Vyudam Drupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata. So we'll try to read two lines together. Pashyetam Panduputranam Acharya Mahitim Chamum Vyudham Drupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata. So we'll read the whole shloka in one go. Pashyetam Panduputranam Acharya Mahitim Chamum Vyudham Drupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata. So when you're practicing, you can practice in this manner. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanandavinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So now I'm reading the synonyms. In order to read the synonyms, I would invite one of you to unmute yourself. Please be ready. So I am okay. So I have Sonal. Sonal, is it possible you can unmute yourself?
Yes, sir. Hare Krishna, sir.
Hare Krishna. So I'll read the Sanskrit part, and this is the English part, the English equivalent, the English synonym. So I'll read, say, Pashya, and you read, say, the Sanskrit equivalent. So let us start.
Yes, sir.
Pashya.
Behold.
Etam.
This.
Pandu Putranam.
Of the son of Pandu.
Acharya.
O teacher.
Mahitim.
Great.
Chamam.
Military force.
Vyudham.
Arranged.
Drupada Putrena.
By the son of Drupada.
Tava.
Your.
Shishyena. Disciple. Dhimata.
very intelligent.
Very good. So now I would request Mayank to help me out in reading the translation. I'll first read the translation myself, and then I'll ask Mayank to read out the translation.
Okay,
So
Father.
Mayank, translation by Prabhupada. O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple of Drupada, disciple, the son of Drupada. So, Mayank, is it possible you can read the translation?
Yes, Father. O translation. O my teacher, behold the great army of sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Draupadi.
It's actually son of Drupada.
Son of Draupadi.
Yeah, it's actually the son of Drupada.
Son
So,
of Draupadi.
primarily, now you are able to see here that this is a question. This is actually addressed by whom? This is Duryodhana is speaking to Dronacharya. Dronacharya was the commander-in-chief of the army of the Kurus. So he has gone to his guru. So he's addressing, oh my teacher, that is actually referring to Dronacharya. Behold the army, the great army of the sons of Pandu. So he's asking to have a look onto the army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada. So who's Drupada? Mayank and Sonal, can you try to answer this? Mayank and Sonal, is it possible for you to answer?
Father of Draupadi.
Sir,
Exactly.
yes,
So
sir.
Drupada is the father of Draupadi. So Draupadi had another brother. His name was Drishtadumna. So Drishtadumna was the commander-in-chief of the army of the Pandavas, and commander-in-chief of army of the uh, Kauravas was Dronacharya. So now let us read the purport. Purport. Duryodhana, a great diplomat, wanted to point out the defects of Dronacharya, the great Brahmana commander-in-chief. Dronacharya had some political quarrel with King Drupada, the father of Draupadi, who was Arjuna's son, or who was Arjuna's wife. As a result of this quarrel, Drupada performed a great sacrifice by which he received the benediction of having a son who would be able to kill Dronacharya. Dronacharya knew this perfectly well, and yet, as a liberal Brahmana, he did not hesitate to impart all his military secrets when the son of Drupada, Drishtabdumna, was entrusted to him for military education. Now, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Drishtabdumna took the side of Pandavas, and it was he who arranged for their military phalanx. After having learned the art from Dronacharya, Duryodhana pointed out the mistake of Dronacharya so that he might be alert and uncompromising in fighting. By this, he wanted to point out also that he should not be similarly lenient in battle against Pandavas, who were also Dronacharya's affectionate students. Arjuna especially was his most affectionate and brilliant student. Duryodhana also warned that such leniency in fight would lead to defeat. So here, what is being addressed? Here you are actually able to see you are able to see how Dronacharya is being addressed by Duryodhana. So Duryodhana, Prabhupada is referring as a great diplomat. Why is he referred as a great diplomat? What is the meaning of a diplomat? Diplomat means a politician, one who does diplomacy. And a diplomat, sometimes you will see that he is duplicitous. Duplicitous means he'll say something in front and he will actually do something else when no one is watching him. Or he will say something, he'll do something else. So this is the nature of diplomat or a duplicitous person. Okay. So now this word diplomat can have various meanings, but the meaning that is referred here is that Duryodhana was very, very, very duplicitous. The great Brahmana and commander in chief, Dronacharya, had some political quarrel with King Drupada. So, what do we learn by this shloka? What do we understand by this shloka? We understand that how much ever one may be very qualified, but he is depending on someone else for his security. And this is the nature of non-devotees. Those who are not devotees of Krishna, they will depend on others. Ki this commander-in-chief will save me, this army will save me, this soldiers will save me, my relatives will save me, my brothers will save me, my family will save me. But what people like Duryodhana forget that in the history, let me recall that Prahlad Maharaj did not have an army. His father, his own father, was against him. He was thrown from a mountain cliff. He was he was thrown into a well full of snakes. He was, put in boiling oil. Holika, the sister of Hiranyakashipu, took Prahlad, and she had got a boon from Brahma that she will sit in fire and the fire will not burn her. So Prahlad Maharaj was thrown in front of elephants. He was thrown in front of, such that he could be stamped. So many tortures, so many ways Prahlad Maharaj was tortured. He was inflicted. Now Prahlad Maharaj did not depend on any army. He did not depend on anyone else. What was he just doing? He was depending only Lord Krishna. He was chanting. He had unflinching faith in his guru. Who is Prahlad Maharaj's guru? Who is Prahlad Maharaj's guru, Mayank? Prahlad Maharaj's guru is Narad Muni. So Narad Muni is the guru of Prahlad Maharaj, and he instructed Prahlad Maharaj in chanting the holy names of the Lord. Like we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, similarly he was instructed by Narad Muni to chant the holy names of Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna has many expansions. Lord Krishna also expanded as Vishnu. Lord Krishna also expanded as Narsingha. So all these, they are all expansions of Lord Krishna. So though Prahlad Maharaj did not have anything, but still he was protected by Lord Krishna in the form of Lord Narsingadev. Every time he was protected. So this is how a devotee is. But a non-devotee, who is not a devotee, who does not have an unflinching faith on Guru and spiritual master, or who does not even know that he should have a spiritual master, he should have a guru, he should have one who does not accept the authority of Lord Krishna, one who is atheistic, such kind of people, Duryodhana kind of people, will depend on someone else for their security, safety, and their well-being. But a devotee will be only dependent on the Supreme Lord, Krishna. So this is how he will do it. So now we will see actually what is, we'll discuss further, and we'll also see what is the learning from this verse. Now, I have a question from to all of you. Is Duryodhana a great warrior?
No.
No, sir.
Yes.
No.
Primarily, Duryodhana might have very good qualities from material point of view, like he might have a very big army, he would have all kinds of things, but you cannot attribute those qualities. He might have been, he might have possessed some qualities, but all those qualities are, they become zero, they have no value, because he was not a devotee of Krishna. So this is how in the outer world you will find so many big rich men, so many famous men, so many accomplished men. If they are not devotees of Krishna, then we must not associate with them. So primarily, it is said that faith is contagious. Faith is contagious. And faithlessness is also contagious. So in one of the classes, Amitabh Prabhu was telling that faith is contagious and faithlessness is also contagious. So when I say contagious, so can you please tell me what is contagious? Who will tell me what is the meaning of this word contagious? Ritambara, you have just now joined. So can you please try to answer this question? What do you mean by the word contagious?
It will go on from one person to another.
Exactly. So similarly, when we say faith is contagious, if you associate with a person who is actually very much devoted to Krishna, then that faith will also transfer to us. Like if we associate with Prabhupada, if we read Prabhupada books, if we like listen to Prabhupada lectures, if we listen to Prabhupada's bhajans and kirtans, the faith that Prabhupada has on Krishna, when we sincerely follow Prabhupada, that faith will also get transferred to us. When we have when various senior devotees like Madhu Pandit Prabhu is there, Amidasan Prabhu is there, when we listen to their classes, we also get the kind of faith they have. And if we say faith is contagious, faithlessness is also contagious. So if we associate with too much with karmis, when I say karmis, they are essentially not devotees of Krishna. If we associate with such kind of people, then our faith will become slackened, our faith will become weak, because they don't have faith in Krishna. So we will also become faithless like them. So this is very important. Now let us come back to the discussion. So Duryodhana, a great diplomat, wanted to point out the defects of Dronacharya, the great Brahmana commander-in-chief. Now here, there are two words. There are two words which I want to also highlight and I want to also explain. So the words are Brahmana and Kripana. So what is the meaning of the word Brahmana? Brahmana means one who is very, very generous and very, very liberal. So who's very, very generous and who's very, very liberal? A Brahmana is very, very generous because a Brahmana will not keep anything for himself. He will only keep what is required as a necessity, and rest all he will just donate for preaching Krishna consciousness. That is the true definition of a Brahmana. So Patan Patan Yajan Yajan Tata Dana Pratikriya. A Brahmana is very clean. And Brahmana, he will not keep anything beyond what is required. Anything which is beyond what is required, what will he do? He will just donate. So similarly here, Dronacharya is an excellent example for, it is an excellent example for Brahmana, because when Drushtadumna was the son of Drupada and Dronacharya, they both are classmates. In Gurukul, they were under the same guru. So Drupada was the father, was a son of a king, and Dronacharya was the son of a Brahmana. But in the Gurukuls, like you all, go to schools, you all have school uniform, you all are equal, you will not discriminate because like he's from his father and such, you're just friends. So similarly, Drupada and Dronacharya were like classmates. They were in Gurukul together. So Drupada told Dronacharya that whenever once I become king, you please come to me, and I will give you whatever you require. Okay, or he told, I will give you whatever you like. So he also told that I will give you one cow. So once what happened, so they all went out of the, they all passed out. When I say you all become graduates, like, you pass out of the school, you go out of the school, right? You get a send off. So similarly, you all become graduates. So similarly, even Dronacharya and Drupada, they both went out of they passed out of the Gurukul. Now, when they both got married, and eventually even Drupada became the king of the kingdom, and Dronacharya also got married, and Dronacharya got a son by name. Anyone can tell what is Dronacharya's son's name? Anyone can try? Dronacharya's son's name is Drishtadumna. I'm sorry, Dronacharya's son name is Ashwathama. My apologies. So Ashwathama, what did Ashwathama? So once what happened? Ashwathama was asking for milk, and Dronacharya's wife, what she did, she crushed the rice particles and made it like look like milk, and she was feeding. And Dronacharya could not see this, and he went to Drupada and he told that you are a king now and I want a cow. Because so Drupada insulted Dronacharya and he said that you are a Brahmana and I'm a king. How can there be a friendship between a king and a Brahmana? And if I had said something, I don't remember any such sayings. And how can I take such things very seriously? So he actually insulted Dronacharya. So Dronacharya, he was a teacher, he was a great person. He came and he was living near to Hastinapura. Then Bhishma and Shakuni, they both recognized and they entrusted all the royal children, the Kurus and the Pandavas, for getting trained under Dronacharya. So on Dronacharya, when all the students they passed out, they asked Dronacharya, asked for a Guru Dakshina. What was the Guru Dakshina? The Guru Dakshina was that you will go and defeat Drupada. So first Dronacharya, Duryodhana goes with the entire Kuru army, but Drupada defeats Duryodhana. But Yudhishthir Maharaj says that Dronacharya, our Guru, he has asked Guru Dakshina from us. He has not asked from Hastinapur. So we cannot use Hastinapur army. We ourselves have to go and fight. So all the five brothers, they go and face the entire huge army of Drupada. Drupada, looking at this, he really appreciates that these young Kshatriyas, they are so powerful that there are only five of them. They are coming and attacking. They are standing my army. And he really admires the way Arjuna is fighting. So Arjuna is a great bowman and is the favorite disciple of Dronacharya. The way he's fighting, though he's enemy, like in sense he's standing opposite. This is the quality of a Kshatriya. He always glorifies another chivalrous Kshatriya. So when he saw this, he was able to make out of, he saw that. What he did, he was appreciating, and eventually it is Arjuna who actually arrests. He arrests and he says that on the order of my Guru Drupada, I am compelled to arrest you. It is that there is no enmity between you and me, but on the order of my Guru, I am arresting you, the king of Drupada Desha. So he arrests him, and the way, though he is an enemy, the way Arjuna treats King Drupada, he is very, very much pleased by Arjuna. And there is no enmity, but he is just being ordered by his Guru to defeat him. So therefore, he's arrested and he's brought before the Dronacharya. So Dronacharya, what he does is that he says, I'll take half the kingdom, and especially among the cows, I'll divide half of them. And he takes. And now what he does is he donates the kingdom, only keeping one cow. So his requirement was what? He had only asked for one cow. So he takes that only one cow and he said. So he becomes very angry. Drupada becomes very angry by this and he does a fire sacrifice. In that fire sacrifice, he asks the fire sacrifice that I want a son who can kill Dronacharya and a daughter who can marry Arjuna, because he was very much pleased by the chivalrous, the way Arjuna behaved, the way Arjuna fought, the way, he was a war hero. Arjuna, he being a devotee of Lord Krishna, he had all the qualities of who had all the best qualities of a gentleman. So Prabhupada also wanted all devotees to be like gentlemen. So you also should be behaving in such a manner, though there might be an opponent like Drupada, but he would appreciate. So this is one of the qualities of a devotee. Dronacharya knew. Okay. Now, after that, when Drushtadumna was born from the fire sacrifice, Drushtadumna, he analyzed, everyone analyzed, and they saw that who's the best teacher. Then they found that only Dronacharya is the best teacher in military art. So Drushtadumna approached Dronacharya. So look at the magnanimity of Dronacharya here, that he is being approached by a person who in future is for sure going to kill him. But he's still, Prabhupada in one of the classes, he says this, that look at the magnanimity of Dronacharya, that he is so generous that even someone who's going to kill me, no problem. At the moment he has come to me for asking knowledge, he gave that knowledge. And all of them were sons of kings. So he gave that knowledge. And when Karna approached Dronacharya, it was not known that Karna was a Kshatriya or Karna was a son of a king. Similarly, Ekalavya also approached Dronacharya. But none of them were allowed because they were not sons of king. Because Dronacharya was particular about certain things, like he would only allow in the Gurukul the sons of a king or a Kshatriya to give the military art, such that this military art would not be misused. Say, for example, imagine Osama bin Laden, he gets, if they're terrorists like Osama bin Laden or so many terrorists, if they get access to nuclear bombs, what will they do? They'll only terrorize the whole world. So similarly, Dushtadumna, because he was a great royal lineage and he was a noble person, noble in birth, who would not misuse the knowledge. He was a son of a king, therefore all these parameters were valid. So therefore, he was allowed to become a king. He was given this knowledge. So now we'll discuss the synopsis now.